Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for today's yoga class. My name is Colleen. I am with Shine On Yoga and I am coming to you on seated Kickapoo land. I also have Miss Chai Cat here. You might hear some whining. There's a Fritz right there. So we're doing some yoga with cats today since the dogs got last week. This week we'll do Chai Cat. And today I just have a super chill practice for you. We're going to start out low to the ground. We are going to end standing. That way you can get on with your day. It's not going to be super energetic, but it will help to increase some energy if you're feeling a little bit of a midday slump. You don't need any props. Some that I would recommend are bolsters, blocks, or blankets, and it's perfectly okay if you don't have any of those things. I'm going to give modifications along the way. So if you are ready to get started, we are actually going to start laying down on our backs. We're going to start out in a constructive rest pose. For those of you that have practiced with me before, you might be familiar with this, so you can go ahead and get into position. If you haven't, we're going to break it down. So we're going to come to lie flat on our backs. Make sure to snuggle those shoulder blades beneath your heart center. Feet are going to be on the mat, knees bent. From here, we're going to walk our feet all the way to the edges of your mat, and it's okay if your feet spill off. From here, we're just going to let our legs rest inward. So knees are together, feet are wide apart. And then we're just going to take a moment here to breathe, to settle in before we start moving through our practice. This is a great time if you want to set an intention for your practice. If you don't necessarily have to. Hands can be on your rib cage, your belly. They can be out at your sides, whatever feels good to you today. Finally, if it feels safe, you can close down your eyes. If not, then just soften your gaze. We're going to take a moment here just to breathe. Some nice big full inhales. And then long extended exhales. Now, while you are resting in your constructive rest post, I am going to read the card that I pulled for today's class. So the card that I pulled today is Cow Spirit, and the message is that miracles are endless. Cow Spirit asks you to pay attention to how you nourish your mind, body, and spirit right now. Because right now, you are wobbling around like a newborn calf on unsteady legs. And I cannot talk or read, apparently. Perhaps you've been spending too much time distracting yourself on the internet, or obsessing over a relationship, or choosing to eat food that is not healthy. Whatever it is, you're being nudged to assess how you are looking after your needs. Remember, the universe has a way of reflecting back to you events and conditions that match how you treat yourself. Cow Spirit reminds you that the universe wants to give you the very best, but needs you to do your part to participate and nourish your well-being. Heed her message and everything will shift in your favor. If you are here and taking this class now, you are already attending to your needs. So you're already a step ahead. Let's go ahead and take a few more inhales and exhales here. We'll take one more big inhale. And then exhale, just let it go. From here, we can go ahead and walk our feet back in line with our hips. And when you're ready, we'll turn to one side and then gently just press yourself up And we're gonna actually come to all fours and we're gonna start warming up the spine. So however you choose to get there is perfect. So in all fours, make sure your knees are underneath your hip points, hands underneath your shoulders. One straight line from your head, tail to your crown. Feet can be flexed or like toes curled under, or the tops of the feet on the mat, whatever feels good to you. And we're gonna do a little cat-cow. We're gonna stay with that cow spirit and just embody it. So on an inhale, we're gonna drop those lower ribs, lift our chest, lift our tail, cow pose. As we exhale, we're gonna round through the spine, dropping the head, dropping the tail, pressing away from our mat, like we're chai cat, in our cat pose. Inhaling into cow, feeling that nice stretch in the front body. Exhaling into cat, feeling a nice big stretch in the back body. Let's do one more round. And then after that last round, go ahead and come back to a tabletop position. If your knees or your toes are not curled under, go ahead and do that now. We'll look down at our hands and we're just gonna walk them one hand print in front of where they were. And when you're ready, we're going to inhale, lift those knees up off the mat, and then we'll continue straightening the legs, pressing back through the feet as we come into our first downward facing dog. You can take this dog for a walk if you'd like by bending one knee and then the other, just getting some movement into those calf muscles. Remember to keep breathing, let your head and neck grow just long and away. You can shake your head yes or no. We'll take one more breath here. And then after that exhale, if you are moving, let's go ahead and bring it to stillness. We'll look up at the top of our mat and we're gonna make our way up towards the top. So I like to take little baby steps. You can take bigger steps if you'd like. Once you reach the top, slight bend in the knees. On an inhale, we're gonna come up halfway, keep a nice flat back. And then exhale, let it go. Forward fold. You can bend your knees as generously as you'd like. You could use blocks here. Or you can keep your hands just on your body somewhere. Just stretching out our hamstrings and our lower back right now. Now, after your next exhale, go ahead and make sure your left foot is firmly planted into the mat. We're going to step our right foot back and then go ahead and lower onto that right knee. Toes can be tucked or untucked. We're coming into a low lunge. Left leg should be in a nice 90-degree angle. Pull that left hip crease back. Right hip crease forward. Torso nice and long, looking forward. Again, you can use blocks here. And we're just going to breathe, feeling that nice stretch. If you don't have blocks or you need to come up a little higher, you can just raise up. Keep your hands on your thigh here. When you're ready, we'll plant our right palm down. We're going to lift our left hand up towards the sky, coming into a nice twist. Breathe. When you're ready, we'll float our left palm down. Go ahead and tuck those right toes under. Lift the right knee up. We're going to rock forward and back a few times. And when you're ready, step your right foot up to meet the left. We're coming back into that forward fold. Inhale, we'll come up halfway. Nice flat back. Exhale, let it go. Take some nice big breaths here. And when you're ready, we have side two. So let's plant our right foot into the mat. We'll step our left toes back. Go ahead and lower onto that left knee. Again, toes can be tucked or untucked. And then make sure your foundation is set up. Nice 90-degree angle with that right leg. Torso nice and tall. Pull that right hip crease back, left hip crease forward. Low lunge. And we'll breathe here. Again, you can come up a little higher. You can always use blocks. And when you're ready, we'll plant our left palm down. Lift that right hand towards the sky, coming into a twist on the opposite side. And breathe here. When you're ready, we'll lower our right hand back down to the mat. If your toes are not tucked under already on that left foot, tuck them. Lift the left knee up. We'll rock back and we'll rock forward. And then we'll step it up, coming back into our forward fold. Again, once you make it up to the top, inhale, we'll come up halfway, nice flat back. Exhale, let it go. And we'll breathe here for a moment. Now from here, generously bend those knees. Bring your torso to the top of your knees here. Sink those hips back. From here, we'll start to raise our torso up. Stay low. We're coming into a nice little chair pose. So weight in the heels. You can pick up the toes to kind of play with that. Lengthen your spine, and then we'll sink down. Hands can be at your chest. You can reach them forward, coming into a nice chair pose. I can grab my cat here. Oops, sorry. You can kind of Simba her. Sorry, I know you don't like that. And we'll breathe. One more big inhale. Exhale, let it go. Straighten the legs, let your head fall below your heart. Inhale, we'll come up once again, flat back, forward fold, and then exhale, let it go. And we'll breathe here for just a moment. All right, wherever you're at, make sure those palms are planted into the mat. We're gonna step one foot back and then the other. We're coming into our first and only plank of the session. If you'd like to go into half plank, lower those knees. If not, you can stay up here with me. Press back through the heels, press away from the mat. One straight line through your spine. Keep breathing. One more big inhale. And then exhale, we'll lift our hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Take a break here. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Let that head grow heavy. Let the heels grow heavy. Breathe. On your next inhale, let's look up back towards the top of the mat. We're going to make our way right back up into our forward fold. So once you reach the top of your mat, your next inhale will come up halfway. Once again, flat back. Exhale, let it go. Take a breath here, breathe. One more big inhale. And then exhale, we'll roll it all the way up to standing. Once you reach the top, go ahead, make any adjustments you need. Shake it out. And then we're going to come to stand still in mountain pose. Hands at the sides, Feet ground into the mat, standing up nice and tall. We're going to take a moment here just to breathe. Feel that flush of energy. We were just upside down. We reverse that. All right. When you feel ready, we're going to step our feet wide. Don't have to be super wide, and you may need to adjust your feet after you're in the pose. That's okay. Press into those outer edges of your feet. You can kind of turn your toes a little bit in, not super in, but just a little bit. And on an inhale, we're going to stand up nice and tall. And then exhale, slight bend in the knees. We're going to shift our hips back as we move our torso forward. Try to keep your torso in a straight line. Imagine you're looking into a little pond here. Now maybe you stay here, or if you'd like to go a little further, you can keep moving towards the ground or your mat. Hands may touch the mat. If they don't, blocks or anything you have around the house that can bring the ground up to you. You can reach the mat. If you're on spider fingers, that's okay. You can always walk them back. If you are able to get your palms down to the mat, try and walk them back in line with your arches and try to bring the top of your head to your mat. So I'll give everyone a moment just to get into a position that feels right to you. Listen to your body. Thank you for the hearts on the live. I appreciate it. But find a position that works for you, and then we'll hold there and breathe. This is a great pose to start working towards a headstand. We're not going to do that today, so don't panic. We're just stretching out any tight muscles in our legs and our back here. And this is actually a very cooling pose, so if it's hot where you are, it's in the 90s here. This will help to kind of cool you down a little bit. Let's take one more big inhale. And then on your exhale, we'll start to rise up. Come out of this pose the way you came in it. So as we rise up, we're going to engage our core, and we're going to rise up in one straight line. You're going to have to activate those legs. You're going to have to activate those core muscles. Once you reach the top, take a breath. Feel that rush of energy. And then from here, turn your toes out. So our legs are still wide. Toes now are facing out. And from here, we're going to do the opposite of what we just did. We're going to sink down. So bend the knees. Keep your center of gravity. Make sure you're not going to either side or front and back, just one straight line. We'll start to bend the knees. Only go as far as it feels good to you. If you're not all the way down here, that's okay. You can be up here, you can be up here, whatever feels good in your body. Make sure you are challenging yourself a little bit, but it should not hurt. All right. From here, hands can be on your hips. They can be at prayer, or you can reach them out in a goddess pose, or God pose, or horse stance, or whatever you would like to call this. And we're going to breathe, just heating up those legs one last time before we end. One more breath. Exhale, we'll stand all the way up. Go ahead and heel toe your feet back together. And we're going to end today in this mountain pose. If you would like to continue on with the practice and Shavasana is in your practice, you can certainly set up for that. But if you need to get on with your day, you're in the perfect position to do so. You can just walk off your mat. I will be back. Actually, I will not be back next week. I do have a few housekeeping things before we end. So for those of you on the live, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found this practice beneficial. I'm usually live on Wednesday afternoons about this time, usually about 4 o'clock Central Time. I will not, though, be here next week or the week after. It'll be a couple weeks. I am going on vacation, so it will be the end of July, that last Wednesday in July before I'm back teaching a class. But don't worry about that because I do have all of my classes online. They are on my YouTube channel, which is in the bio. It's Shine on Yoga LLC that houses all of these practices. It will house this practice eventually too by next week once I get it uploaded and on there. If you're interested in this, you can find my channel, subscribe to it. You'll get notified when I upload those. Otherwise, you're more than welcome to follow me on TikTok and see when I go live, or if you have questions, you can always reach out to me. For those of you watching on YouTube, thank you so much for joining me. You had a group of people here with you today practicing, so you are not practicing alone. Like I said, it'll be a few weeks before a new one comes out, so YouTube side, it'll probably be the beginning of August before you see another video from me, but make sure to check out that library. There's a ton of different practices. All right, so I'm going to sign off here. I hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your week. I will see you again at the end of the month. Namaste. You want to say bye, Chai? You want to say bye? Say bye. Say thanks for practicing with me.